So I'm showing you all today, this is the park that we are at and the mountain ridge kind of behind us. But we're right here in the parking lot. So this is what you always see of us. And we are going to start today seated. Everybody's already seated, so that's a wonderful place to start. Hopefully my voice carries in the wind, but okay. All right. Well, everybody just made themselves comfortable. I like it. So perhaps you are crisscrossed or one heel stacked in front of the other, and then maybe you got to wiggle it around a little bit to find that nice, tall, upright spine. I know my hips aren't always ready to sink right into this, so I'm going to take what I need here and find just a couple of deep breaths while I'm in this really tall posture. On your next inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. And then as you exhale, bring your right hand down to the ground and reach over to the side. Inhale as you come back to center. And then take that stretch the other direction. Inhale back to center. Let's twist once each side. So we'll go to the right first and use that hand behind you to really lengthen your spine, maybe shifting your gaze as well. Back to center, reach up and take your twist the other direction. To center, reach up, and then fold over your legs and let that be nice and gentle. Maybe you're not going really far, just slowly sinking in. Maybe shifting your gaze down between your arms so the back of your neck can lengthen. And take some nice deep breaths here. Use your hands to help you come upright. Release your legs out long. And we'll take our first forward fold, allowing ourselves to just kind of ease into that as well. Maybe finding somewhere you can bind onto your legs, whether it's the calves, ankles, or feet. Pull the belly up and in. And again, let that neck be long, so maybe your gaze is shifted between your shins. When you come upright, bring the opposite foot in closest to you. So most likely that's going to be your odd way, right? It's going to be the odd side. For me, that's the left side. But you're either stacking or crossing again. Find that nice, tall, upright spine, belly in. On an inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Side bend to the right. Back to center. Side bend the other direction. Center, take a rotation to the right. Center, and then rotate left. Come back to center and fold over again. Again, just to where you're able to lengthen the spine by shifting your gaze down towards the mat. Use your hands to help bring you upright. And as you unwind your legs this time, let's take the legs a little bit wide. If you want to turn so that you're on the mat, that's totally fine. Let's keep this a dynamic stretch since it's nice and early. So feel free to use your hands as you fold forward, and then we'll come back upright and take that again. So we're kind of folding forward, pull the belly in, then come upright. A couple more times straight forward. It's early yet, right? We're headed into pyramid fairly early in our practice, so I want to get us stretched out a little bit. This time as you're upright, remain upright and then come over towards the right side, fold gently over and then begin to walk over to the other side. Pause when you're over the left leg and then walk back. Pausing when you get to each side, go back and forth nice and slow, and if you can sink lower as you go, feel free to, but again, we're just warming things up. Complete whatever round you're on and then come back to center using your arms to help you bring the legs back together. Give yourself a nice little hug after that. And when you're ready, come over onto your hands and knees, beginning some cat-cow to move and limber up the spine. Inhaling to drop the belly, open the chest, shoulder blades together. Exhale and round, tucking the chin. Inhale to open. Exhale and round. Keep going on your own breath, adding any other spinal movements in there that you might like to take this morning. And then when you're ready, begin to make your way into down dog. Again, finding some movement that's going to help you lengthen out and stretch into your down dog. As you become ready, make your way into stillness here. So finding that nice stillness, reaching the heels down toward the ground, belly pulled up and in. And then walk your hands back towards your feet. Forward fold standing, bend the knees as generously as you need to so that you can let your head hang heavy, hands on the ground, or maybe you like to bind with your legs somewhere and allow your back and hamstrings to open up. Two more breaths here. Release hands if they're in the bind, touching the ground, and then bend the knees really generously so you can round it up one vertebra at a time. When you come to standing, reach the arms up overhead. Let's take a side bend to the right in standing. Inhale, arms up overhead, baby gaze shifts up. Exhale, side bend to the left. Inhale, back to center, gaze shifting up. And then take a standing back bend here, and if you don't want to leave your hands overhead, they could come to heart center as you drop your head back, or hold on to your hip bones as you drop your head back. Use the strength of your belly to help you come upright. Reach your arms up overhead once again. And then bring hands to your hips, holding onto your hip bones. Step partway forward on the right side and turn that back heel in. Square the hips. Use your fingers on these hip bones to help you see or feel what's square, and then fold over that right straight leg. If you need to bend that straight leg a little bit, feel free to do so. Maybe you can find that 90-degree so that you're parallel to the ground, and then reach to touch the ground if that's available. Again, bending the knee if you need to, folding into our first pyramid. Hollow out the belly, pull it up and in. On an inhale, begin to lengthen the spine. We're coming to standing in the middle of the mat. Reach the arms up overhead. Exhale, take the hands to the hips, find those bones. Step forward with the left foot, turn the right heel back. Square the hips. And then fold over the left leg for our left pyramid, bending the knee if you need to, early times here. Eventually releasing the hip bones, hands to the ground if that's available, folding even further. You can have a pretty generous bend in this knee, so feel free to do that if we need to so far this morning. On another inhale, lengthen the spine, step forward, top of the mat, reach the arms up overhead, sink down into your chair. Hollow out the belly, reach the arms up. Maybe we'll sink another inch. And then on an exhale, fold forward. Take a half lift here, pull the shoulder blades together, palm the mat, step back to the top of your push-up. Let's hold this top of the push-up, pull the belly in, and activate the core with some hip swivels, so right hip coming down and then left, but it's like a small movement here as you swivel back and forth, getting that core activated and burning a little bit maybe. Come to stillness, and then on the toes or the knees, let's lower all the way down to the ground. Inhaling into a cobra. Exhale to downward facing dog. Reach the right leg up in your down dog. On your exhale, bend and stack, open up to the side. Pull the belly in, reach through the heel, reach through the right palm. On another exhale, step to the top of the mat. High lunge as you inhale. Reach the arms up overhead, pull the belly in, and then reach that back hamstring to the sky. Maybe you sink another inch if we can keep that back leg straight. Find your breath. Thunderbolt forward, reach the arms, reach the arms, reach the arms. Pause here with the arms reaching overhead. Take another breath. And then release hands to the ground. Step back to the top of your push-up. Start those swivels here in your plank posture, top of the push-up. And then come to stillness, lower all the way down to the ground. Inhale into your cobra, working towards straightening the arms. And then release to downward facing dog. Inhale the left leg up, exhale, bend and stack, open up to the side. Push into that left hand, reach through the left foot. On an exhale, step to the top of the mat, high lunge, inhale as you come up, holding this first high lunge. Reaching through the fingers, belly pulled up and in, reach, reach, reach that back hamstring. On an exhale, thunderbolt forward. You know we're pausing here in this thunderbolt. Ask yourself to hold it here. And then release hands to the ground. Step back to the top of your push-up. Lower all the way down. Inhale into your cobra. Stay here. Look over your right shoulder. Head back to neutral. Look over your left shoulder. Back to neutral, and then downward facing dog. Walk your hands back towards your feet. Bend the knees if you need to. Find a grasp peace fingers to big toes. Inhale, lengthen part way up. On your exhale, fold forward, using that grip to help pull you forward. Knees bent as much as you need. Hollow out your belly. Release your grip, hands to the ground, bend the knees, round it up generously, reaching to the sky, side bend to the right once you get there. Back to center, side bend the other direction. Back to center, reach up, look up, take a back bend here, finding the arm variation of your choice. Come back to standing, hands at heart center. Reach behind your back, clasp your elbows. pull the chest forward, step forward with the right leg, turn the back heel in pyramid, still working to square the hips as you fold forward. We'll keep this clasp. You might come part way down or fold further forward depending on your range. Find your breath. Actively push through your feet like you're tearing the mat apart between your feet. Begin to come upright, and as you step forward, listen up, we're going to head into eagle arms and eagle legs. So the left leg is going to come over the right, and then we'll unwind our arms, and the left arm is going to come under as we wrap around and see if we can get our palms together. So some of you might be able to get this left toe to go around your calf. I'm not quite able. Unwind, come to standing, reach the arms up overhead, and then bring your hands behind your back, clasp the elbows again, lengthen the spine, step forward to the left foot, back heel in, lengthen again, and then fold over for pyramid on the left, belly up and in. You decide how far you fold over, how much you bend the front knee. Inhale, as you come upright, we're stepping into our eagle again. So the right leg is going to wrap around and the left arm is going to wrap under and maybe finding our palms. Pull the belly in. We'll unwind to standing, reach the arms up overhead, and then sink down into your chair right away. Breathe here for 3. Belly in, 2, 1. Fold forward as you exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Palm the mat, step back to the top of your push-up, and then lower all the way down to the ground. Inhaling into your cobra, gaze to the right, maybe bending the right toes up towards your eyes. You'll release, come back to neutral first, shift your gaze to the left, and then the left foot if you wish to choose that part. Come back to center, and then downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg up. On your exhale, bend and stack. Knee to same arm, maybe something can connect. Inhale, lengthen it back up. Knee to opposite arm, take it across the body, maybe touching. Inhale, lengthen back up. Step to the top of the mat, high lunge. Sink right in. Thunderbolt forward. Left hand to the ground, right hand to the sky as you come into a twist. Release fingertips to the ground, come back to your runner's lunge, and then inhale into your high lunge. Open up warrior 2. So check your alignment, make sure that knee is tracking toward the pinky toe side, left shoulder working to stack over the right hip. Peaceful warrior, flip the front palm, reach overhead. Gaze might be down at this back leg or up at your top hand. Straighten that front leg, hands to the hips, turn the feet, wide leg fold, folding forward as you exhale, hands to the ground. Inhale, take a half lift, and then fold again like you're gonna reach the crown of your head to the ground. Pull the belly up and in toward your spine, soften the knees if they need to, so make sure they're not hyperextending. On an inhale, place your hands underneath your face, come halfway up, and then walk your hands to surround your right foot. Step back to your plank. Side plank on the right. You can come to the knee or stay on the outside edges of your feet. Reach the hips to the sky, either way. Come back through plank and take your side plank to the left. Hips to the sky. Your gaze might shift up to the top hand, or maybe not. Back to plank, take an optional vinyasa here, or go right to down dog. Exhaling as you lower, inhaling as you open the chest if you're taking your vinyasa, and then down dog. Inhale the left leg up, exhale, bend and stack.
Left knee to left arm, exhale. Inhale, lengthen to three-legged. Cross the body as you exhale again. Inhale, back to three-legged, step to the top of the mat, high lunge. Finding yourself setting up right away, engaging where you need to. Thunderbolt forward, pause in that thunderbolt, ask yourself to hold it. And then release into your twist, right hand coming to down to the ground, left arm reaching up. Release that top hand, come to fingertips in your runner's lunge. And then inhale as you come back up in high lunge. Yes, good work. Open up warrior two. Think about that alignment, move the feet if you need to. Inhale, peaceful warrior, flip the front palm, reach overhead. Turn your palm the other way, Jamie. Yes, that's just better on your shoulder. Straighten the front leg. Let's head into that wide leg fold again. Hands to the hips or open like a T. On your exhale, fold forward, hands to the ground. Inhale, part lift. And then as you exhale, fold again. Hand placement of your choice. They might stay on the ground or bind with your feet somewhere, but belly should come up and in. Use your breath. Soften your knees. On an inhale, place your hands on the ground, come part way up, walk your hands to surround the left foot top of the mat. Step back to take your vinyasa over or go right to downward facing dog. From down dog, we're walking hands to the back of the mat. Bend the knees if you need to. Let's place the hands underneath the feet. Maybe your toes can come all the way to your wrist crease. And then fold forward, shifting some of that weight onto your hands. Belly pulled up and in. Shoulder blades towards or away from the ears, I mean. As you inhale, release your bind, set yourself fingertips to the ground, bend the knees generously, round it up. Same sequence we've been doing, so reach the arms up overhead and side bend to the right. As you're ready, come back to center and side bend the other direction. When you come back to center, take the standing back bend of your choice. I mean your arm choice, right?
Also how deep you go. Perhaps it's head only, or maybe you'll begin to go further.
Strength of your belly takes you upright. Reach the arms up overhead. If you can come into reverse prayer hands, then you'll come into reverse prayer hands behind your back. It looks like this. If not, take your fists and press them together behind your back. Lengthen the spine, step forward with the right foot, back heel in, pyramid pose, square those hips, lengthen up, and then fold over, keeping your hands where they are, finding your breath. It's a very traditional Ashtanga pyramid pose. If you have your hands in a reverse prayer or your fists, press them together. We're coming out into eagle, so you'll want to come upright, unwind, and then rewind. Left leg over right. That means the left arm is coming under in your eagle. Release to standing, reach the arms up overhead. Find that reverse prayer behind your back again, or pressing the fists together. We'll take this on the other side. Left leg stepping forward, right heel turns in, fold over your pyramid leg on the left. Belly up and in, push the hands together. Inhale, come upright. Unwind to come into your eagle. Left or right leg comes over the left, right arm comes under for the wrap. I'm wiggling all over the place. So if you are also, that's okay. We're working on our stability and strength. Take another breath. And then release to Tadasana, adjusting your feet as you need to. Inhale deeply and exhale. Next inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale, sit back into your chair. Hands to heart center. Let's take a twist to the right, hooking the elbow. Check to see if your knees are in alignment, and then maybe you shift your gaze past your right shoulder. Belly in, a little more twist. Come back to center, twist towards the left, hooking the other side, checking with the knees again, shifting the gaze, belly in. Come back to center, and then forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Step back to the top of your push-up, lower all the way down to the ground. Inhaling into your cobra, taking these cobra twists. Maybe that's only turning your head to the right, maybe that's adding the right knee bend. You'll come back to center, take it the other way in your own time. Eventually we'll meet in downward facing dog. Right side, inhale the right leg up, exhale, bend and stack. Stay there or take a flip dog or wild thing if you would like to throw that into your practice. I like to see what everybody's doing. Ooh, nice. Find your breath. We'll meet in three-legged dog with the leg reaching straight up in the air. And then on an exhale, knee to same arm. Inhale, lengthen it back out. Exhale, knee to opposite arm. Inhale, length. Step to the top of the mat, high lunge. Inhale, come right up. Take a pause. Thunderbolt forward. Hollow out the belly as you reach, reach, reach. Left hand down for your twist. Windmill up from here into warrior two. Dropping that back heel, opening up warrior two. Peaceful warrior. Come into extended side angle here. So if you're coming on the forearm, hold that hand like you're holding a tray of goods. Opposite arm, the palm faces down toward the ground, and then open that top shoulder. One nice long line from your fingertips down to the outside edge of your foot. Inhale as you come upright, turn your feet out this round and sink down into your goddess squat. Maybe adding those goalpost arms. More breaths. Inhale, shoot it up. 5-point star, drop the head if you would like. And then bring your hands to the top of the mat. Step back to take a vinyasa or no vinyasa, meet in down dog. Inhale the left leg up, bend and stack. Stay there, flip dog or wild thing on this side. Out into your three-legged down dog. Nice control. On an exhale, knee to same arm. Hug it in. Inhale, length. Cross the body, knee to opposite arm. Inhale, lengthen it out. Step to the top of the mat. High lunge. We're just going to pause there. Get our balance. Come back to your breath. And then thunderbolt forward, pausing in that thunderbolt. Come into your twist, right hand to the ground. Windmill it up and around. Warrior two. Opening to the side, back heel down. Peaceful warrior. Extended side angle. Remember, if you're coming onto that forearm, hold that hand like you're holding some tray of goods. Pull the belly in. Open the top ribs. On the inhale, come upright, turn the feet out. We're sinking into our goddess. Goalpost arms if it's available. Let's move this goddess, bringing the right elbow down towards the right thigh. Come upright, take it to the other side. Do that 2 more times each side. Nice and slow like that. Once you come back to center, shoot it up, 5-point star, and then windmill the hands down, surround your left foot, Step back and take the vinyasa of your choice to down dog. Walk your hands back towards your feet. Forward fold here, find the hand placement. Actually, let's all place our hands behind either our calves or our ankles, or maybe you can come underneath your heels. Just decide what's correct for you. Hollow out the belly and fold in, shoulder blades away from the ears. Create space. I know, it's a good day when we need to take that layer off, isn't it? Couple more breaths in our forward fold. Release any binds you might have. Support yourself so you can bend your knees generously, round it up. You know we're taking a side bend each direction. Take that in your own time. We'll end with a standing back bend. Take that in your own time as well. Coming out of your standing back bend into Tadasana arms. Inhale, sweep those arms up overhead. On your exhale, let's interlace your fingers behind your back. Inhale, open the chest. Maybe you reach your hands away from your hips as you take a step forward on the right. Pyramid with the hands bound this way as you fold over, reaching your arms overhead. Remember, you can soften that front knee and breathe, right? I wanted to hold my breath there. Listen up, before we head into eagle, we're gonna release our bind, take the hands down to the ground, and then reach the left leg up to the sky in your standing splits. Press your hands into the ground, whether you're on your fingertips or your palms are on the ground, press into the ground, and then reach that top leg a little higher. Breathe. We'll come out of our standing splits into our eagle balance. Maybe we won't touch that left foot down, maybe we will. No judgment. Left leg comes over, left arm comes under. We'll come out and set up for the other side. Hand, foot to the ground, reach overhead, and then find your bind behind your back. Maybe you like to bind the odd way. Open the chest, step forward on the left, back heel in, fold over the left pyramid leg. Release your hand bind, bringing your hands down to the ground for standing splits. Right leg to the sky. Press into the ground and reach the top leg to the sky. Press the hands, reach the leg. Come forward for eagle. Right leg over left, right arm under left. Unwind, come to Tadasana, move the feet however you need to. Let's take a nice inhale here and sigh it out as you exhale. And then move again. Reach the arms up overhead, sink down into your chair. This time an open arm twist to the right, staying upright. Reach, reach, reach through the hands, pull the belly in, come back to center, reach the arms up overhead, open arm twist to the left. Come back to center, reach the arms up overhead, shift your gaze to look overhead as well, and then forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Step back to the top of your push-up. We're lowering all the way down. Inhale as you come up to twist and bend the knee, taking that each side. And then making your way to down dog. Inhale the right leg up. On your exhale, bend and stack. Listen up. I want you to hydrant this right leg out to the side. You might need to look at me for that. That's bringing that leg way out there like this. And then back to this stacked and bent. 2 more because we're just figuring it out. Hydrant, stack and bend, hydrant, stack and bend. Hug the knee in towards your nose. Hug it in, hug it in, hug it in. Step to the top of the mat for high lunge. Open arm twist to the right in this high lunge. So see if you can get that spine stacked right over your hips. Reach through your fingers. Maybe your gaze shifts to the back hand. Come back to center so we can thunderbolt forward. Reach, reach, reach. We pause in that thunderbolt. We don't want to, but we do. Come into your twist. Left hand down to the ground. Reach open with the right. Exaggerate that twist if you would like to, reaching even past midline. Windmill it up, warrior 2. Flip the front palm, come into your peaceful. Straighten out your front leg, exalted warrior, peaceful with the straight leg. And then triangle posture here, reach, 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 as you come into your triangle. Soften that front knee if you need to. Don't let it hyperextend. Take that top hand down to the ground. Turn your feet. We'll head into our wide leg fold this round. So fold forward, hand placement of your choice. On an inhale, come part way up, walk your hands to the top of the mat, surround your right foot, step back and take the vinyasa of your choice to down dog. Inhale the left leg, bend and stack. Take that left leg out into hydrant. Yep, bend and stack. Hydrant. Bend and stack. One more hydrant. Bend and stack. And then hug knee to nose. Hug it in there. Step to the top of the mat. Inhale into your high lunge. Reach, reach, reach up. Sink right in so that we can open arm twist to the left. Come back to center. Thunderbolt forward, reach and reach and reach. Pause once you get there. Drop into your twist, right hand down. Maybe exaggerating that twist, reaching the arm further back. Windmill it up, warrior 2. Nice. Peaceful warrior. Straighten the front leg, exalted warrior, pause there, and then reach out over that left leg as you come into your triangle. Tiny softening of that front knee, especially if it's wanting to lock in. Right hand down to the ground, turning your feet as you come into your wide leg fold once again. On an inhale, let's bring the hands underneath the ground, under your face. So add a twist this time. Left hand coming down right in front of your face, and then twist open to the right. Release, take that on the other side, another 5 breath hold. Release and walk your hands around top of the mat. Step back, take a vinyasa to down dog. Walk your hands back towards your feet. Let's hold on to opposite elbows for a ragdoll fold this time, but pull the belly in. A tiny softening in the knees if you need to. Don't let them hyperextend. Become aware of where your weight is at. Is it hanging out in your heels? Can you lift all your toes off the ground? If so, ground your toes and shift some of that weight into the balls of your feet. Release your hands, drop your hips, round it up. Take your side bend and your back bend and you're at your own pace, pausing there in any of those postures as long as you need to. This is our last time through this sequence. We'll meet standing upright, reach the arms up overhead, hands to heart center. Step forward with the right foot, pyramid pose. I'm keeping your hands in front of us so we can reach down to the ground. So keep the spine nice and long as you come down, and then place your hands on the ground. Probably a lot different than your first round. You might keep them surrounding your front foot or play around with binding onto the back leg as you fold into this pyramid. And if the back leg is not something you're going to reach for, you might turn your hands and reach your fingertips towards the back of the mat. Just things to play with. Take another couple breaths. And then we'll release to come forward into standing splits. Hands on the ground as you reach that left leg to the sky. In your standing splits, I want everybody to flex their feet, so toes towards your shin, and pulse. 3, 2, 1. Point your toes, reach, reach, reach to the sky. Flex your foot, pulse. 3, 2, 1. Point your toes and reach to the sky. Last time, flex. Pulse. 3, 2, 1. Point your toe and reach. And we're coming forward to find our eagle. Ooh, that's hard after that big standing split. We'll just do the best we can. Left arm goes under. Reach the elbows away from the face, maybe the fingertips really reaching to the sky. Ooh, I can barely hold that. And then play around with folding forward in your eagle. Elbows maybe touching the knees. Keep the hands. We're gonna open up the legs into warrior 3, reaching that left leg behind you. Ooh, is your right hip on fire? And then we'll release the left leg, unwind and stand. Oh yeah, I had to wiggle that one out. Hands at heart center. Left foot comes forward. Find those pyramid hips and then fold over, long spine. Bringing your hands to the ground. Remember, you could bind with the back leg or reach the fingers back. Take the hands of your choice. I just like to do different things in some of these postures, changing up how my alignment is a little bit, how the stretch is. Two more breaths. Standing splits, hands come to the ground in front of you. Reach that right leg up. Just come into the splits first. You know we're going to head into pulses here also, but find your balance. Flex your foot, 3 pulses, 3, 2, 1. Point your toe and reach. Keep it up there. Flex the foot. Pulse. 3, 2, 1. Point your toe and reach. One more time. Flex the foot. Pulse. 3, 2, 1. Point your toes and reach, reach, reach. And now we've got to come forward into that eagle. Right arm will go under. Maybe those hands will reach to the sky, elbows away. Squeeze the legs for stability. And hug it in, elbows dropping toward or maybe even touching the knees. Keep the hands, unwind the legs, heading into your warrior 3, eagle arms. And then we'll stand straight top of the mat and we'll wiggle it out as man. Right? Let's bring feet about hip width apart. Reach the arms up overhead and then interlace the fingers behind the back. Inhale, open up the chest. On your exhale, fold forward. Bend the knees as much as you might like, arms reaching overhead. So even though we're in this stretch, right, multiple ways, we got the hamstring, the back, the arms stretching, what can you do to soften into that? Think about your breath. Think about releasing tension with each exhale. Begin to lengthen the chest forward as you come up, and then sink the hips so like we're gonna come back into chair. Now my feet are apart, so this is an unusual chair for me. I'm reaching the hands still bound, and then I'm gonna come up onto my toes and have a seat on my heels, right? It's just a matter of playing around with that balance. Oh, I didn't even have to unwind, right? And now we'll have a seat, so our hands are already back there. Let's unbind them and then reach back to soften having a seat. Yeah, right. Give yourself a hug, you deserve it. Let's go into a little more core work. All right, let's head right into our Navasana boat pose. I want you to point your toes, squeeze the heels together, squeeze the knees together. That automatically squeezes the inner thighs together. Pull the shoulder blades towards each other. Squeeze the legs back together as I lost it there. Pull the belly in. Let's lower down into our canoe. Maybe we can find balance on that tailbone. Squeeze the ankles, the knees, point the toes, shoulder blades. Oh, can they come together at all? Hold. And then release, take a long body stretch. Bring your hands down to your side and your legs straight up into the air. Point your toes to the sky, pull your belly down towards the ground as much as possible. And then we're gonna take windshield wiper legs, but it's just a small movement over to the side. Really kick into the core to keep the hips down as far as possible. And then back through center to the other side. Nice and slow. And if you keep all this belly engagement, you'll be working pretty hard. So think real hard about what's going on in the belly as you sweep back and forth really slow, pausing at those angles out to the side. And if you can occasionally manage to also pull that pelvic floor, do that Kegel at the same time, ooh, you'll get that firing up in that pelvic floor. I can't keep that engaged the whole time, but I can sometimes ask it to. Find it for a moment. All right, we were not counting, so let's just do one more each side. And then release the feet down to the ground for some bridge work before we come back to a little more core like that. So set your feet up. Maybe you can graze the back of your heels. Inhale as you bring your hips to the sky. Press into your hands, hips nice and high. We're going to hold this first one for 5. Squeeze those shoulder blades together underneath you. 4, 3, 2, 1. Release the hips all the way down to the ground. Just take one breath. On your next inhale, come back up into the sky. Keep the hips nice and high for tiny pulses. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Listen up. Let your hips hover and then come all the way back up for 10. Hover. Back up. 9. Keep going. 8, 7. Nice and slow like that. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release all the way down to the ground. Take a breath. Bring those hips up into bridge again. And we're going to do little tiny bridge twists. So it's just dipping the right hip down while you keep the left one as high as you can. And then dip the opposite direction. So it's dipping back and forth with a tiny little twist as you keep your hips as high as you can. Keep going, keep going. Keep going. And release down to the ground. Let's take the knees and hug them into the chest, maybe out towards the armpits a little bit, maybe rocking side to side. Now, who did not feel a burn on that? We could start over if we have to. Oh, good. I know I did. All right, one last core exercise. Bring your legs up towards the sky again, like we had last time, pointing your toes toward the sky. Very similar movement. This time we're going to take our legs in a circle. So it's still a fairly small circle because we're keeping this big stability in the hips and the back push down to the ground. Again, for an added little oomph, you give that Kegel or pelvic floor, and you decide how big these circles need to be. Mine are not very big. I'll tell you when to go the other way. Really focus on what's happening at your core, keeping that as stable as possible while you move your legs. Reverse your circle, go the other direction. And then release, hug your knees into your chest. Place your feet on the ground and open up your knees. Baddha Konasana, Supta Baddha Konasana, lying down in those butterfly legs. So if this does not feel good to your spine, you don't have to stay here. Otherwise, if you can, release into this stretch. together, feet on the ground. Cross your right ankle over your left knee, coming into a supine pigeon stretch. So a figure 4 with the right ankle on top of the left, and then hug that left thigh in towards you. I like to flex my right foot, protecting my knee. Maybe you straighten out the left leg or keep it bent. Really, our focus here is on what's happening in the right hip. So whatever you're taking, let's make sure that right hip is really getting a nice opening after all that standing balance work we did. Take about 3 more breaths. Release your feet down to the mat. Maybe you like to take a long body stretch after that before we set up for the other side. When you're ready, figure 4 with the left ankle over the right thigh or right knee, and then hug that right leg in towards your chest. It might feel good to flex or keep that left foot flexed. Protect your knee a little bit. And again, if it feels right to straighten the right leg, you could do that, but let's keep our focus on stretching into the left hip. More breaths here. Release your feet to the ground. Take a long body stretch again if you liked that. And then let's hug both knees into the chest and get ready for a spinal twist. You might need to pick your hips up and move them over to the left, or maybe not as you drop your knees to the right. You might open your arms like a T, but you know, there's wet pavement here, so we might keep the elbows bent and close into our bodies. In your own time, take this stretch on the other side, making any adjustments that you need along the way. As you're ready, make your way out of that rotation, maybe placing your feet on the ground and picking up your hips to wiggle them back and forth.
before releasing into your Shavasana.